Lately, you haven't felt like yourself. You still go through your day. You still do what you need to do. But something feels different. You feel disconnected, flat, less present, like a part of you has slowly faded into the background. And you can't fully explain why. So you start questioning yourself. You wonder what changed, why things that used to feel easy now feel heavy, why your energy feels different, why you don't feel as sharp, as motivated, or as emotionally connected as you used to. But what if the problem isn't who you are? What if it's what your mind has been carrying? Because when your brain is under constant pressure, it changes how you feel. Not all at once, slowly, over time. You become mentally overloaded, too much input, too much stimulation, too many things competing for your attention. And eventually, your brain starts protecting itself. You stop feeling fully engaged, fully present, because your mind is trying to conserve energy. That's why everything starts to feel flatter. Not because you don't care, but because your brain is overloaded. Another thing that changes how you feel is living in constant autopilot. You wake up, repeat the same routine, go through the same motions, think about the same responsibilities, and eventually, days start blending together. You stop feeling fully connected to what you're doing because your brain is focused on getting through the day, not experiencing it. And when life becomes automatic for too long, you stop feeling emotionally engaged with it. That's why time feels faster now. Weeks disappear, months disappear, and you barely remember them because your attention was never fully present. Another reason you stop feeling like yourself is because your attention is constantly fragmented. Your brain rarely stays in one place for long. You check your phone, switch tasks, think about something else, move on to the next thing. And when your attention is constantly moving, you stop fully experiencing moments. Conversations feel distant. Relaxation doesn't feel real. Even enjoyable moments feel muted because part of your attention is always somewhere else. And over time, that creates a strange feeling of disconnection, like you're watching your own life instead of fully living it. Another thing that contributes to this is emotional exhaustion. When your brain has been under pressure for too long, it stops prioritizing things like excitement, curiosity, and emotional connection. It focuses on efficiency, survival, getting through the day, and eventually, you stop reacting to things the way you used to. You feel emotionally flatter, less enthusiastic, less excited, not because your personality disappeared, but because your brain is exhausted. Another reason this happens is because you slowly lose connection with the things that made you feel like yourself in the first place. The hobbies you stop doing, the people you stop spending time with, the music you used to enjoy, the quiet moments you no longer have, the parts of your personality that slowly disappeared under stress and routine. And because it happened gradually, you barely noticed it happening until one day you realize you don't quite feel like yourself anymore. Another thing that keeps this cycle going is constant stimulation. The moment your brain feels uncomfortable, you distract yourself. You scroll. You watch something. You fill the silence instantly, so your mind never slows down long enough to process anything properly. Your thoughts stay active, your emotions stay unresolved, and your brain never fully recovers. That's why even rest doesn't feel refreshing anymore, because your brain is still overloaded. Another reason people feel disconnected from themselves is because they spend most of their time reacting instead of intentionally living, responding, checking, consuming, repeating. And when your life becomes constant reaction, you stop feeling in control of your own attention, and eventually you lose connection with yourself. So what's the solution? It's not becoming a completely different person. It's reconnecting with the version of yourself that's been buried under overload. Reduce the constant input. Create space for stillness again. Spend less time consuming and more time being present. Another thing that helps is reconnecting with things that used to make you feel engaged. Music, exercise, being outside, real conversations, simple things that make you feel present again. Because feeling like yourself again usually doesn't come from adding more. It comes from removing what's been overwhelming your mind and giving your brain space to recover. So if you haven't felt like yourself lately, it's probably not because you've changed completely. It's because your mind has been overloaded for too long. And underneath all that mental noise, you're still there.